the Supreme Court's all set to hear bail pleas of Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid tomorrow. But ahead of this crucial hearing, the Delhi police has filed an affidavit in the top court, strongly opposing the release of the accused booked under the UAPA in the 2020 Delhi riots conspiracy case. Now, the courts have argued before the Supreme Court that the alleged offences involved a deliberate attempt to destabilize the state. The Delhi police says that violence was part of an organized regime change operation, and the aim was to destabilize the country using the issue of CAA. The police further says that this was a premeditated conspiracy and the attempt was to make the CAA a global issue by timing it to Donald Trump's visit. There was also an attempt to portray the CAA as an act of pogrom on Muslims, and it was a planned conspiracy to begin a nationwide stir on the CAA. Remember that Sharjeel Imam, Umar Khalid and others had approached the Supreme Court after they were denied relief by the Delhi High Court. The High Court had observed that Sharjeel and Umar's role was quote-unquote prima facie grave in the alleged conspiracy. Now, both Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid say that they are fully disconnected with the case and have no link whatsoever with the co-accused persons. They say that there were no texts or money sent for such conspiracies, as has been alleged by the Delhi police. BJP calls it a deserved crackdown on anti-India forces, while the Congress says Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam are only being targeted for their religion.
They are suffering because they belong to a particular community. Those who were involved in communal life, they have been appointed as cabinet ministers. And these 5 persons who belong to a particular community, Muslims, have been rejected, even bail, while for last 5 years, trial has not been started.
When Delhi police has submitted this argument in the court, that shows that Delhi police has substantial evidence. I am pretty sure that that court will take every step to penalize such kind of people, those who don't want India to be on a path of progress.
You're watching the Newshour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
For more on this, let's go right across to our guest. Joining us is Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Sushil Pandit, activist, joining us. We have Somnath Bharti, former Minister of Law, Tourism and Culture in the government of Delhi and leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. Advocate Umar Junaidi, political analyst, joins us on the show. Let me start with you first. Somnath Bharti, the charge is very clear. Now, this Delhi police counter affidavit states that this is an organized regime change operation carefully crafted to destabilize India's internal harmony and international standing. Why then are we seeing several individuals root for Mr. Umar Khalid and others who are accused in this case if the charges are so serious? Somnath Bharti.
No, Madhav, if you look at the affidavit and the timing of the affidavit, see, in the past also there is a pattern. Tell me, in last 5 years, when was the last time when Delhi police termed Delhi riot as a national conspiracy? I mean, all of a sudden you come out. So tell me which other city we are witnessing prosecution criminal in nature in connection with so-called national emergency, national crisis, national attack, all that, what the words used by Delhi police. Which all city it happened? Nowhere else. There is a crisis. See, because they have understood, Supreme Court is very heavy, was very heavy on the last date when they said, when Delhi police asked for an extension, they said nothing doing. See, even when the Pakistani terrorist was caught in Bombay, the trial was over in 3 years. Here in last 5 years, trial has not moved an inch. So Supreme Court mood was possibly noticed, and they understood that Supreme Court is not going to will not be abiding by whatever views are given by the prosecution and the Solicitor General. So they concocted this entire story.
But is that a fair comparison? Somnath Bharti, I'm just asking you, you're comparing Kasab's case with this. Well, just one second. You're comparing Kasab's case. No, you can speak, sir. I'm not stopping you from speaking. I'm just seeking a clarification of point you made. When you compare Kasab's case to this, that's a fairly open and shut case. It's a case of terror. A terrorist who was caught live. There were witnesses in that case. In this case, the volume of witnesses, etc., are in excess of over 800 or 1,000. In fact, Delhi police today has said that we will reduce the number of witnesses and make the trial faster by cutting out about 800 witnesses, if I'm not mistaken. That's the undertaking they have given. Mr. Bharti.
So, Madhav, allow me to bring this fact before your audience. See how poorly investigated this case is. Let me tell you. They registered 757 cases. So far, 183 have been acquitted. 50 have been discharged. They had arrested 2,174 people. 1,739 have been given bail. 368 were charge sheeted. So, question is, this entire case is so poorly investigated because there was nothing therein. It was BJP concocted, BJP managed. BJP was the kingpin of this entire riot.
Very, very serious charge. I can tell you
with confidence.
Very, very serious charge.
Because their entire politics is around Hindu-Muslim.
Okay. Let's get a response.
Wanted such a thing to happen.
Let's get a response from the BJP. You're raising
one thing, Mother.
Yeah.
This NRCCA protest, which is happening in Okhla in 2020 election, just after election, this entire protest was over. This protest was concocted for political gain by BJP.
Okay, let's get a response from the BJP. Now, you made your point. You made your point, sir. I want Siddharth Yadav to respond. Siddharth Yadav completely concocted for elections. This is a BJP construct. Is the charge coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party former minister? Your response, Siddharth.
No, Madhav, first of all, let me set the record straight. What Aam Aadmi Party is saying and what kind of benefits they try to reap from it, it's not hidden. The kind of stance that they took and the kind of benefit they wanted, the kind of silence that Arvind Kejriwal did, and for what reasons, nothing is hidden. Everything was out in open. Who was supporting whom? Who were the ones who were voting, who were supporting something for a vote bank? All of that is out in open. Today, such an affidavit has been given, but with what Mr. Bharti is saying, let me just respond to that, to those limited points. 1,000 people still in custody, more than 300 charge sheeted. These are the facts given by Mr. Bharti on your show. More than 300 charge sheeted, 1,000 still in custody, 700 cases were registered. In a matter of violence, definitely large number of people have to be investigated and large number of cases are registered because most of them are 120B, people who are participating in a criminal conspiracy. With all of that happening, the affidavit, the police, the investigation is headed towards that this was possible a conspiracy for regime change. Regime change benefits whom? Regime change will bring in whom? Who were the recipients of that? You had in the national capital, and Mr. Bharti was referring to a pattern. Very interesting. Very rightly so. What was the pattern? 2016, you have a JNU, where you have a Tukde gang. Then you have a Bhima Koregaon. Then you have a CAA. And then you have Delhi riots. That was the pattern. With all anti-India Tukde gang joining hands together, not able to digest the mandate of the people of this country, going against the democracy and acting in a seditious manner to turn the regime. Was that your claim? Was that what you wanted? And when that happens and an investigation is happening, now you're handing out certificates. What investigation is poorly drafted or which one is heading which way? It is such a large conspiracy and it is such a deep matter, Madhav. I'm very sure when all of this
Let me bring in other guests as well, please. Yeah.
Give me 10 seconds. When the trial will
quickly conclude. Yeah.
All of these people who are trying to support it from the back end would also be a part of this. I say this with all responsibility. All of them who are trying to gain political benefits and were a part of this.
Okay, so Somnath Bharti wants to respond to you. Very quickly, please. The two other panelists have not yet spoken. Somnath Bharti, quickly.
Yeah, Siddharth, would you please tell me, from where did they understand that it was a national, attack, etc., for the first time in last 5 years? When did they speak of this in last 5 years? For the first time. Why?
The affidavit is being filed, charge sheet is being given. Where do you, sir, how do you make someone an accused? Where would you place the charges in a court of law in the charge sheet?
And let me correct you factually. You said 1,000 people are arrested in jail. That's incorrect. It's only 108 only. They have already acquitted 183 people.
I'm relying on the data that you are giving, Mr. Bharti. If you want to defy your own data, whatever you mentioned, I'm relying on the same data.
Okay, let's come to the...
And you are a lawyer by profession. You are the law minister.
Okay, gentlemen.
If police, if a prosecuting authority...
Okay, gentlemen, we can argue about the facts. The entire debate is factual. There are a lot of points of view. Let me please bring in the others though. And I want to bring in Umar Junaidi on a simple point. Umar Junaidi, it has suddenly come to light that it's an international conspiracy, is a charge of Somnath Bharti. The point being made over here is very simple. It is a fact that President Trump was visiting the national capital. It is a fact that one of the persons accused, which is in this case Mr. Sharjeel Imam, has spoken about cutting off the chicken's neck and separating northeast from mainland India. When these kind of charges are there and questions about those who have invoked Pakistan, so on and so forth in the past, the simple point I'm making is this: if there are such international ramifications of this, why are we shying away from the fact that this could be possibly part of a global conspiracy? Can we rule it out completely at the moment?
Madhav, the point what Delhi police wants to make at the time of elections of the other states, it is nothing but an act to create a pressure on the voters of the other states to vote for the ruling party. And the very point is, as rightly said by the ex-minister, since 5 years, these people were not talking about the national conspiracy and international conspiracy. However, if a government brings a nationalized bill wherein apart the Muslims, every caste is being, every religious the citizens of every religion is being taken care
Where is the question?
In the CIA. Madhav, the point is, you let the Muslims out and you don't want people to protest. If somebody is organizing a protest and you don't want people from Karnataka
is Northeast being separated from India? Do you agree with that contention? Do you believe that that's an anti-national contention at least?
Madhav, that will be decided by the court.
Why should the court? What is your opinion? I'm asking you your opinion. Do you want Northeast to be separated from India as an Indian citizen? Is that your
opinion? Never.
So then why can't you condemn people who make such statements? That's a simple point I'm making. What the courts will do is a separate thing. I'm not getting into I'm not prejudging anybody. But look at the kind of individual that you're defending.
Let me ask the spokesperson of BJP a very clear question. What was the Delhi police doing when the Najib case was there? Najib was missing. It's been several years. You couldn't find Najib, and you after 5 years find that it is a national conspiracy. Now you're linking it to global conspiracy.
So what is the connection of Najib case with Umar Khalid? Please tell me, what is the connection between the two?
The connection is you cannot find Najib, but you can find after 5 years there is a national conspiracy.
Okay, Sushil Pandit raising his head, eyebrows, yes. Sushil Pandit, please respond.
Madhav, this is amusing. We find countries around us collapsing under similar circumstances, whether it was Sri Lanka, whether it is Bangladesh, whether it is Nepal, or some other countries across the globe. You find color revolutions uprooting established systems and norms and throwing countries into chaos. How can you just dismiss such a possibility, even occurring here as a conspiracy, if not as a successful event? How can you just simply dismiss it out of hand? So if there is a suspicion and if there is enough evidence leading to our investigating authorities to further investigate it and then create a charge sheet around it, why should a certain lawyer become a self-appointed defense lawyer and dismiss it out of hand? You haven't seen the evidence presented by police yet. You haven't seen the entire story. You haven't even seen the arguments, cross-examinations. You can at best say that perhaps it is illegal, but you cannot with such certitude say it is impossible and that it is a propaganda, that it is to help the ruling party in elections. I think this is absolutely irresponsible. 54 people died in Delhi. Delhi hasn't seen this kind of riot in decades. And members of political parties were involved. We haven't forgotten Tahir Hussain. Which political party did he belong to? We haven't forgotten people who raved and ranted about doing this, and it is still fresh in our memory how Negi was brutalized, how Ankit was stabbed 50 times plus and dumped in a gutter, how acid was rained from roof, policemen were killed.
Acid packets, absolutely. No, let me put that question. Let me put that question to Somnath Bharti. Somnath Bharti, the level of violence, the fact that there was an AAP, now former councillor, Mr. Hussain, who was very much part of that, and therefore there are going to be serious questions about individuals who are actually fanning these riots and who stood to gain or benefit from carrying out this violence on the ground. You're raising questions of the BJP, but there are similar questions that will have to be faced by opposition parties, including the Aam Aadmi Party, which was then ruling in Delhi. Somnath Bharti.
Madhav, I wonder who, under whom the Delhi police was, operating. It is BJP. Central government of BJP. Home Minister was directly responsible for Delhi police. IB works under him. So it was utter failure of BJP that they could not certain a global conspiracy in the capital. I'm amazed. I'm short of words. A BJP government could not, figure out there's a global conspiracy going on in the capital. Can you imagine? They should have resigned.
Okay.
What use they are?
Allowing the question.
They should have resigned.
Sushil Pandit.
They are not capable of governing the
Sushil Pandit wants to respond to you. Sushil Pandit.
The most capable of intelligence systems like Mossad and CIA, the wealthiest and the most organized countries like US and Israel could not preempt 9/11 or October 7. It can happen to the best and the brightest in the world. That doesn't mean that it just didn't happen, that there was no conspiracy, that nothing happened. Come on, this couldn't be an argument that how could you not preempt it?
In 5 years,
yes, there was a failure you could not.
To term it global conspiracy, suddenly you were saying so.
Of course, 9/11 was a global conspiracy.
Because there is election in Bihar,
was a conspiracy.
and because Supreme Court has come out very heavy on Delhi police, and you want to pressurize the Supreme Court.
Okay, let me allow one question though. Siddharth, I want you to answer one question though. There are the critics of the police and the prosecution and the entire judicial system who are saying that these people have been incarcerated for too long. We hear that argument often, that they are political prisoners, so on and so forth. How do you respond to these charges? Because they say that the kind of strictness which the system has shown with these individuals who are currently behind bars is beyond what is normally seen. Siddharth Yadav.
Madhav, please give me the opportunity to first answer my learned friend from Aam Aadmi Party. He's asking who was Delhi police operating under. Let me ask you a question, sir. Who was Tahir Hussain working under? Your party leader was accused.
Tahir Hussain was your agent.
Was accused.
Tahir Hussain was your agent.
Throwing petrol bombs from his
in the election,
he was the one who was gathering everybody at his home. He was the one who was killing people. Sir, I was not speaking while you were speaking. You are a learned person.
Okay, let him make his point. You asked the question, Somnath Bharti. Let's be fair. Let him respond. Let him respond. And then I'll give you a quick chance to rebut that as well.
Your leaders were the ones who were actually acting in that riot, killing people, throwing petrol bombs, gathering stones on their terraces. And you are asking here on national television that who was Delhi police working on orders of? Come on. This is, I think, the highest level of hypocrisy. This is point number one. Point number two, Madhav, you asked me that the system has been very rigid or say, very rough with these prisoners who were taken. I'm very sorry to say, but the people who say that Northeast should be, taken away from India, it should be cut off, our system has to show highest level of strictness. I'm very sorry to say the people who participate in such a seditious, act of riots and crime and who wish for a change of regime by killing hundreds of people, our system has to act.
Okay.
And let me remind you legally, just give me 5 seconds, on the fact of why they've not given a bail. They have withdrawn their bail application 20 times from various courts. They have been trying.
Answer that point. Somnath Bharti, you can't take away from the fact that Tahir Hussain was part of your party, and also, if they are the ones withdrawing the applications, then why are you saying that the process has been unfair to them? Somnath Bharti, quick response, 20 seconds. I'm out of time completely.
No, Madhav, I have read the affidavit. I have read the earlier affidavits. I have read their bail applications, and I'm absolutely firm on the fact that Honorable Supreme Court this time will not spare Delhi police, come what may.
Okay. Let's leave it there, gentlemen. Completely out of time. Advocate Umar Junaidi, Somnath Bharti, Sushil Pandit, Siddharth Yadav. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. All eyes on what the Supreme Court will decide as far as this very significant and important case is concerned. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.